all that's left on our exploration tour is to visit Kurt, the guy who makes balls using nuts. And that graffiti wall thing was actually a huge success. I didn't think it would be that successful, that people would get into it so much. So yeah, that experiment was a success, and I guarantee there's gonna be another one at some time in the future. Maybe I'm going to catch an Abra at some point, so I'm gonna have to train it a little bit to catch up in terms of levels, so I might do it again then, who knows. And since I didn't expect it to be so successful, well, to be honest, I thought 3 minutes was going to be more than enough, but there were so many, well, I could call them graffitis, well, there were so many of them that it wasn't nearly enough in the end, so the next one is going to be a lot longer than that. Maybe not the full 10 minutes, but longer than just 3, that's for sure. Who knows, maybe I just invented a brilliant concept that's going to become all the rage on YouTube. Okay, maybe not, but that was still very enjoyable for me, and I hope it was just as enjoyable for you. So back to the game, this guy Kurt is really furious that the Team Rocket's cutting the tails off of Slowpokes. So if I remember, he's gonna want to go, yeah, he's going to go give them a thrashing. Except, of course, it's not going to turn out very well because, well, he's an old man, and old men are usually very ineffective in video games. To some very rare exceptions, but unfortunately Kurt isn't among them. And behind Kurt's house you can see an apricorn tree. I already picked up the apricorn a little bit earlier in this video while I was talking, but that leads me to my next subject, which is the non-traditional Pokeballs, so to speak. Whatever's not Poke, Great, Ultra, or Master, the novelty balls. But, what? He took a tumble down the well? It's called a ladder, moron! It's there for something! Use it! It's worth repeating, the denizens of the Pokemon world aren't exactly the sharpest tools in the box, and I'm aware that when I yell, it really highlights the low quality of my microphone, but at least it gets the job done, and I don't feel like I need to upgrade to a $100 model. It cost me, what, $10, $15? And that's all I really need. As long as you can understand me, that's fine. But back to what I was going to talk about, specialty balls. I gotta say, those in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, they really, really suck. Strike number 1 is the fact that you can only make 1 of them in a single day. You cannot buy them in bulk. And it's even worse when you take into account the fact that, well, it's not, you can't just say, I'm gonna give him 1 of each type of apricorn, so I'm gonna have 7 balls of 7 different types tomorrow. Nope, that doesn't work like that. You give him 1 apricorn, and then he gives you back 1 ball the next day, and only then can you give him an apricorn of a different type. That's bullshit! Strike number 2, they just aren't as useful as the ones in the following generations, to one notable exception, the Love Ball. The Love Ball multiplies the catch rate by 8 whenever your Pokemon and the wild Pokemon are of different genders. And that is probably the best ball ever made when it comes to raw catch rate. Just compare it to the Ultra Ball, where it doubles the catch rate, and there's also the Dusk Ball, which quadruples the catch rate, but only at night. The Love Ball, well, all you need is a Pokemon of the opposite gender of what you're trying to catch, which is easy to come across, so Love Balls are pretty good. The only problem, as I said, you cannot buy them in bulk. You're going to have to make a whole bunch of them if you want to catch something. Well, I'm saying that, but the fact is, you're not going to want to use Love Balls to catch Legendaries, because Legendaries don't have a gender, so you're going to have to stick with the Ultra Balls. Why not Fast Balls? I'm going to come back to it a little later on. But yeah, I'm aware that Heatran and Cresselia do have a gender, However, the fact is they're 4th generation Pokemon, which you want to use 2nd generation balls to catch them with. And that is obviously not going to happen. Even if they brought back Love Balls in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, you couldn't transfer them to your game of Diamond, Pearl, or Platinum because they're just not in the game code. That's the same reason why you can't have the new forms of Rotom, Giratina, or Shaymin in Diamond and Pearl. They weren't in the game code. So that rules out the Love Ball for the one practical application it may have. And as for the other types of balls, well, they're really unimpressive. You might think that the Fast Ball is cool because it works on the legendary dogs, except for one little fact. It doesn't work on the legendary dogs. You might have thought that it would work since, well, the concept is that it works against fast Pokemon, but honestly, their idea of fast Pokemon is really weird. I've seen the list of Pokemon this works on, and it has nothing to do with speed, not at all. There are, for example, you've got Magnemite, Grimer, Tangela, I think Dratini and Dragonair were in there as well. What were they thinking? What does this have to do with speed? And when I talk about the legendary dog speed, I'm talking about their speed in terms of game lore. When it comes, well, they constantly run all over the land. That kind of speed, not the in-battle speed. Still, I can't imagine how Magnemite or Grimer could be fast by any stretch of the imagination. And speaking of speed, here comes Quick Attack. I'm gonna ditch Tackle for it. It's certainly going to be a lot more useful. Just in case I need a priority move, it's also going to be an excellent finisher move. But back to the balls, well, yeah, the Fast Ball just doesn't have any application where it might be useful. All that can be caught with it, well, it's either junk that you can catch easily with regular balls, or stuff like Eevee or Porygon that you can't even catch them using balls. They're given to you as prizes, and the only way of getting more of them is by breeding, or winning more when it comes to Porygon. As for the Heavy Ball, well, it suffers from a similar problem. The list of Pokemon it works on is just too short. It works better than a regular ball on exactly 9 species, 3 of which cannot be even found in the wild. You've got, as far as stuff that works with it goes, well, you've got Golem, Onix, Gyarados, Lapras, Snorlax, but that's just about it. I think I have missed only one and I don't remember what it is, but you get the idea. It just doesn't work at all. And just as an extra kick in the nuts, the formula for this one is a lot more complicated. For the other balls, it's simple. You have twice as much of a chance to catch the Pokemon, or 3 times or 4 times. Here it adds plus 20 or plus 30, or it even removes 20 in the vast majority of cases, meaning it's worse than a regular ball in 95% of all cases, which is definitely a stupid concept for a ball if you ask me. But yeah, that whole plus or minus thing instead of multiplying, the thing is, I don't know where in the formula it's applied, so I can't even calculate the odds of catching something with it. And that's just another reason why you better stick with Ultra Balls if you want a good catch rate. Even if they cost a little more than they should in terms of efficiency versus Pokéballs, well, you better stick with Ultra Balls. And here comes Kurt, blissfully unaware that I've been blasting his products for, what, 6-7 minutes? And it's true, man, your balls suck! I'm gonna go to Hoenn or Sinnoh and find way better balls than what you have to offer. So I guess that's it for today. Nope, we've got a call, and it is a rematch, so I'm not gonna do it now. I'm gonna do it a bit later on. My next target is going to be the gym.